Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today I'm going to be talking about a question that I see posted a lot online, where people put a picture of their Macrophylla hydrangea and they say, can anybody help me identify this hydrangea? What kind of hydrangea is this? And that is always a tough question. So I think that most people are not asking, is this a Macrophylla hydrangea, a big leaf hydrangea or not? That's pretty easy to tell. Those are your ball-shaped blossoms that are in pink or blue. But instead I think all those people want to know, what variety of Macrophylla hydrangea do they have? What's the name of it? Is it Endless Summer Original? Is this Wee Bit Giddy? Is this some other type that I don't know? I'd love to go out and purchase another one if I just knew their name. And it can be really, really tough to actually do that. There are so many kinds of Macrophylla hydrangeas. It's really amazing. And growers today can't grow all of them and provide them to nurseries, so they choose the newest and the most popular. That means that the hydrangea you have in your grandmother's garden, there's a very good chance that that hydrangea isn't even produced anymore. So you probably won't be able to identify it, and you probably wouldn't be able to get another one just like it. But there are three things that you can look for in a Macrophylla hydrangea that will help you at least try to identify what specific type of variety it is. So those three key things you're going to look for in your Macrophylla are going to be the shape of the petals, the color of the flowers, and the size and shape of the actual plant and leaves. So let's talk about the shape of the petals first. So Macrophyllas all have these big, beautiful mop heads that we love. And when you look carefully, they're composed of little florets. And those little florets really can differ. From a distance, you might just see it as one big ball of blue or one big ball of pink. But as you get close, there's actually a lot of differences.
Take, for example, Double Down. In this hydrangea, each little floret is composed of oval-shaped petals, and each layer of petals gets smaller and smaller as you go to the center. Now, in a similar manner, the hydrangea called Love has a gradually smaller petal arrangement, but those petals are much more round when you look at them. And really, when you look at those two side by side, it's really easy to identify which hydrangea that is. In fact, I lost the tag to my Hydrangea Love and it bloomed and I went, oh, I know what one that is, just from the petal shape. With the original Endless Summer, you have petal clusters that are more diamond shaped, sort of a rounded diamond shape, and each one is usually 4 to 5 petals. And then you have something like Spike, where the petals are still sort of that diamond shape, 4 to 5 petals there, but they're all ripply around the edge. And when I see a hydrangea like that, there are only 2 hydrangea that I personally know that do that. One is Spike, and one is called Frill Ride, so that helps me to identify it right away. This is Everlasting Revolution, and this particular hydrangea, you can look and see that the little florets are very tightly cupped and very close together. So their shape is very rounded. Most of them only have 3 petals all clustered together, so that gives me clues about what kind it is. Here we have After Midnight, and After Midnight, actually, the petals are rather flat in each little floret, and that makes it different. Still sort of that diamond shape, but more of a unique shape in that way, that they're flat and not cupped at all.
Once you've taken a look to see what those petals look like, then you also need to look at the color of your hydrangea. So you might say, well, it's a pink hydrangea or it's a blue hydrangea. But actually, each hydrangea has a range of color saturation that go from pink to blue. So for example, I have a pink hydrangea here and a pink hydrangea here, but they're very different pinks. This is Wee Bit Giddy. And Wee Bit Giddy gets a very saturated deep pink when it's pinkest. But this Double Down is as pink as it's going to get. It stays a light pink. Now I have Double Down also in blue, When it's blue, it's a very light color blue, but down here I have Wee Bit Grumpy, and Wee Bit Grumpy stays purple to pink in that range. So you need to know the depth of saturation, and you need to know that range that it can span.
Let's take a look at the Hydrangea Wee Bit Giddy. So this is one of my favorites, and I have it in many places in my yard. In some places, it's in a planter, and the mixture that I used in the planter is of a neutral pH, so I get a nice deep pink. But those that have planted in the ground in the acidic soil have the opposite end of the spectrum that Wee Bit Giddy can bloom, this deep purple. So Wee Bit Giddy, even in the most acidic state here, is going to be this deep purple. It doesn't really turn blue. If you look though at the very center, you'll see there is that really, really blue center there. So I know for Wee Bit Giddy, if I actually saw a blue mop head, it's not Wee Bit Giddy. It's going to be a dark pink to a dark purple. This particular hydrangea is L.A. Dreamin', and L.A. Dreamin' is known for the fact that it can have blue, purple, and pink flowers all on the same bush, no matter what the acidity level is of the soil. So if I were to look at this particular plant and see all three of those colors on the same plant, it would certainly give me the clue that that plant is L.A. Dreamin'. Here we have Everlasting Revolution, which not only does it have those beautiful, tightly cupped little florets, but this particular mop head changes color each one of these blossoms throughout the season. It will go from blue to purple to pink, and you'll see that progression of color. It also is one of the longest lasting mop heads that we have. It was originally used by florists because it lasts so long. So although this doesn't rebloom for you, you're going to see that progression of color throughout the season. It's really quite remarkable. Here we have Next Generation Pistachia, which is this beautiful tie-dyed petal color where the color is saturated in the center of the floret, either blue or pink, mine are pink, and then it goes out to green on the edges. It is just so unique. There's only one other tie-dyed hydrangea that I know of, and that's called Tilt-a-Swirl. And Tilt-a-Swirl actually can be differentiated from this one in that the pink or blue is on the outside of each petal and it goes green to the center, sort of opposite of this. So pretty though. So if you had this tie-dyed look, you would want to look at one of those as a possible identifier for your hydrangea. Here's the hydrangea called Froggy because the petals actually look a little bit like frog skin. You can see the green sort of speckled look. They come in really green and then throughout the season deepen into either that pink or blue color. I do not know of any other hydrangea that have this particular coloring, so definitely color for this hydrangea is super important in its identification. You also might find that you have a bicolored hydrangea similar to this. So this is Vanilla Swirl, but when you look at it, it really has a swirled look to its bicolored. Some are darker pink, or if it's on the blue scale or purple scale. Some have more white in it. Sometimes you see the pink more towards the center. Sometimes it's more towards the edge. So Vanilla Swirl is a really good name for it. For some of my other bicolored ones, you see more of a definite pattern with a white margin and then the color definitely in the center. So you'd want to check out exactly how your bicolored hydrangea is patterned.
And the third thing you're going to look for in your hydrangea is going to be size. So Wee Bit Giddy gets to be not more than maybe 2 to 3 feet. The Endless Summer Original back here, maybe 6 feet tall. So if you have a bush that has been planted in your yard for a long time, you probably know about the relative size that it's going to get. And then you also can look at the individual leaf size and color. So certain leaves are really big. They're all called big leaf hydrangeas, but we have some that stay smaller than others. And you can do a comparison that way. Some of the leaves are more of a lime green, some are more of a deep green, some are more leathery, some are thicker, some are shinier. So doing a leaf comparison really helps too.
These 4 leaves are from 4 different types of Macrophylla. The one on the left is a deeper green. It is shinier and thicker than the other leaves, more leathery. The one in the middle is a very large leaf, and all the leaves on this particular hydrangea are significantly larger than most that I have. The other 2 are very similar. They're a thinner leaf and more of a lime green. So there really is a difference. There also may be a difference in the leaves as you reach the fall, because some of my Macrophyllas, the leaves actually have some fall color to them. Froggy is one of those that will turn maroon come fall. It's really beautiful, but that is definitely an identifying aspect of that Macrophylla.
So you should definitely look then at the petal shape, on those beautiful florets that you love. Look at the color of your hydrangea, and look at the size of the actual hydrangea bush, and then the leaf and color, size and shape too, to get some clues for what variety, what specific cultivar you have of a big leaf hydrangea. And if you can't identify your hydrangea and go out and buy one just like it, you still have the option of propagating it, which is a wonderful way to spread and get new hydrangea. I will link the video that I have on how to do that below. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.